Hi, my name's Walter Montero. I'm a real estate and mortgage agent here in Cambridge, Ontario, and I've had the privilege of serving our community since 1987. Over the years, I've met some great people here in our community in many different businesses and walks of life. Some, of course, are well known, and others are some of the best kept secrets in town. So the purpose of this podcast is to share and introduce them to you. Welcome to the I Love Cambridge podcast.
No problem. Let's get right down to the brass tacks. Jorge Meneses from BNI TNT chapter.
Cambridge, yep.
Very good. So what's TNT? Is that as in the dynamite TNT?
It's just a short form for Tri-Cities networking team.
There you go. That makes sense. Sense. Perfect. So BNI, first of all, start off by telling us what BNI, what is BNI?
BNI is an international organization. It stands for Business Networking International. Okay. It was started back in 1985 by Ivan Meisner, okay. And it's grown to 75 countries currently worldwide, over 270,000 members in 9,500 chapters. Our region is BNI Ontario Southwest, which goes from Guelph down to Windsor, and we have 6 chapters currently. We are hoping to launch 4 chapters by next year, 4 more chapters, which will bring us up to 10, hopefully doubling our numbers. And it's all about referrals and passing business and growing relationships with each other.
Okay, perfect. So who is in BNI? Who would typically join a BNI group?
So typically, an average member will be a small business owner, somebody that knows the value of networking and wants to get out there and grow their business. So we like to think of it as if you are a BNI member. In our group at Cambridge TNT chapter, we have 20 members. So it's like having 20 salespeople out networking and finding business for you as well.
Okay, perfect. So are these people that get involved, when you say small business people, are they typically B2B client, like B2B type of businesses, or B2C? Like what kind of businesses do they typically are they involved in?
Yeah, it could be both. It could be B2B or B2C. We have I own a small marketing agency, digital marketing agency. So I'm more of a B2B business. We have a printer in the group. He does B2B, he does B2C. So it could be anything. And then we have, not in our region, but I know in the GTA region, there are dedicated groups that only do B2B networking. So there are different areas and different groups, but our group has all kinds, B2B, B2C.
Okay, perfect. So you can get into basically a generic group or a group that actually specializes in something specific that they want to tackle.
Yeah, absolutely. What I recommend to most business owners or salespeople is to visit a couple different groups and find out where you kind of mesh, right? Because every group's a little bit different. There's different businesses in every group, and there might be a group that really fits well with what you do, and then you'll be able to refer business back and forth with those people a lot better. Okay,
perfect. And when do you guys meet? When do you do it, and how often do you do it?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny with the situation that's going on right now. We meet every Tuesday from 11:30 to 1. We used to meet at the Galt Country Club, which is a beautiful place to meet and have lunch every week, but now with COVID and the pandemic, we still meet every Tuesday from 11:30 to 1, but we meet online kind of through this platform, like a Zoom meeting. But it still works well. People understand why we're there, and we're still plugging away.
Okay, perfect. And what's the typical agenda at one of these meetings? Do you have speakers, or does everybody take a chance to, or take an opportunity to talk to each other? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, so the meetings are structured very structured. So if you go from one group to another, the structure should follow the same protocol through each meeting. But yeah, each member will get an opportunity to introduce their business. We call them their weekly presentations. But one member gets a full 15 minutes in the meeting to do a more in-depth presentation to the group and the visitors. Each week we rotate that feature presentation throughout the members.
Okay, good. And in terms of, you mentioned visitors. I assume this is an open forum, is it?
Well, we like to invite visitors to the group. We like to grow the group. We like to, we'll invite people from the chamber. We invite government officials, to help us understand what's going on in government to support small businesses through this type of pandemic right now. So we like to have people visit the group. It always adds to the value of the groups.
Okay, perfect. And then in terms of the members themselves, are these spots all on an exclusive basis, or do you have competing businesses within the networks? Like, how does that play out?
Yeah, so BNI has a rule that says there's no competition within chapters. So, for example, for our printer that I mentioned, if another printer wanted to come and visit the group, yeah, that's fine, but they wouldn't be able to join the group because we already have a printer in the group. So we call it the no competition clause, which means if there's a referral for a specific business, they know they're going to get that referral.
I see. Okay, perfect. And in terms of membership costs, commitments, what are people typically looking at for that?
So the first initial membership, I would say, would be probably about $1,000 for the year.
Okay.
Year after year, I would say it's about $700. And we also, when we meet at the country club, there's also a commitment to, the hosting the event and the lunch that we have to pay. But right now, obviously, we're meeting online, so there's none of that commitment. But on average, for a membership for the year, it's about $700.
Okay. And when somebody signs up, they're committed for a year. It's not a pay as you go type of thing, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So you sign up for a year, it's your membership. We have a vetting process. So we have a membership committee that kind of vets the application, talks to some references. We want to make sure they're a good fit for the group and they understand the expectations of the group. And yeah, we have some rules. I think this is what the difference between BNI and most other networking groups is. We have structure, we have rules. We all know why we're there, and it doesn't become like a breakfast club or a social event. We're there for a reason, so we all understand that.
Yep, very good. And then in terms of the leads, sort of the actual structure of the distribution of the leads, how do you guys do that? Do you just leave that into the hands of the members, or do they hand these in? Like how are those handled?
Yeah, so in the old days, we used to have slips, like carbon slips. There used to be 3 copies, and you used to write out a referral, and you'd give one to the member. You'd keep a copy, and then you'd give one to the secretary treasurer. But those days are kind of gone.
It's probably hard to find NCR paper these days.
Yeah, that's true. So now we have an app. So we have an app that you have all your information in it. You have all the members in it. Actually, you can search members worldwide through the app, but that's how we pass referrals and keep track of everything is through our app. So once you put in a referral, you submit send, that member will get a notice saying you have received a referral.
Oh, terrific. That's pretty slick. Great. And that works on both iOS and the Android, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, maybe even BlackBerry.
Oh, actually, I found one the other day. We're moving and we were emptying drawers. I found an old BlackBerry Bold. My kids were wondering what the heck it was. They thought it was a calculator.
Yeah, they didn't even know what that was.
Very good. So if somebody wants to get involved in your group or in BNI in general, where do they go?
Well, they can contact me or they can go on bniosw.ca. They can find all our chapters on our website, and they can actually go through the website to visit any of the chapters that they choose. So they can put in a request and they'll be able to come and visit the chapter. They'll get an email with all the details and then the Zoom meeting link and all that type of stuff will come to them and they'll be able to visit the chapter and introduce their business to everybody.
Okay, good. And now your group meets at 11:30. Do they all meet? Are they all lunch meetings, these groups, or when do they meet?
No, they're not. So every group decides what's the best time for their group. So we have breakfast groups. We have some groups that meet at 7. We have some groups that meet at 7:30. And then we have groups that meet at lunch or 11:30.
Okay, perfect.
We actually have our 6 groups right now. We have 2 groups in Guelph. One meets at breakfast, one meets at lunch. We have 2 groups in Waterloo. They both meet for breakfast. We have a group in Kitchener. They meet for lunch, and our group in Cambridge, we meet for lunch.
Okay, perfect. And in terms of, can you belong to more than one group?
One individual can only belong to one group.
Okay.
But if you have more people in your business,
Yeah.
they can belong to different groups.
Okay.
So, for example, for yourself, if you wanted to belong to the Cambridge group, your wife could belong to the Kitchener group.
I see. Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's again, you're getting into the whole competing clause and making sure that there's only one of everybody.
Absolutely, and it's tough to dedicate yourself to one group, never mind 2 or 3 groups.
Sure, totally understand. Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, it sounds like a great organization. Ivan Meisner is the founder, correct? He's the
Absolutely,
go-giver, as they say, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a champion of networking. He's been around it for 30 plus years, and he does a great job of leading the organization. He's now, I don't believe he owns it anymore. I believe he sold it, but he's called the visionary officer for BNI. So he goes to all the events. He does all kinds of podcasts. I actually got to meet him in Bangkok, Thailand. I went to the international conference a couple years ago in Bangkok. Wow. Yeah, and I got to meet him there, and an amazing speaker.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So that group couldn't have been small.
No, the conference was over 3,000 members from worldwide. It was actually the first time it was done outside of the U.S.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. And any talks of what's happening post-COVID? Any one of these, another seminar like that coming up soon or no?
I haven't heard too much. I believe their international conference is going to be all virtual this year. They obviously want to err on the side of caution and
sure, of
sure
course.
all their members are safe. But yeah, that's what I think it's going to happen this year. It's going to be a virtual international conference this year.
Good. Okay, perfect. Now, was there any question that I didn't ask you that I should have?
No, I think you did a great job. You did a lot of research and you did an amazing job in asking questions.
Oh, awesome. Well, I appreciate it. George, thanks a lot. And I'm sure we'll see you around. Maybe we'll see you at Orange Theory.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing you there.
Okay, you bet.
Getting our sweat on.
That's right. All right, perfect.
You have a great day, Walter. Thanks
very much, George. Yeah, you bet.
Bye.
And then the rest of that, George, will be edited out. Christian will take care of cleaning up the some of the stuff in the front and the back, and then you'll be up and published. We'll send you a heads up once it's on, and then you can share it with your group as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time, and appreciate the opportunity to be on your podcast.
Awesome. Thanks very much, George. Have a great day.
You too, man.
Okay,
Bye.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.